Hello, I'm Rob Phillips, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a simple 45-minute Yin Yoga sequence. For props, I'm going to recommend that you have a couple of blocks and a blanket, but don't worry if you don't have those. I'm sure you'll be able to follow along anyway. If you want to stay in touch, please follow the link in the description down below to join my email list. For now, we're going to start in a comfortable seat. So I'm already sitting up here on top of my blanket. You can grab a blanket, grab any prop that you'd like. Set up in cross-legged or any seated position you can be in for just a few minutes here. Once you've found that, hands can rest onto the thighs, onto the lap. Close your eyes, elevate the spine, soften the shoulders, and feel yourself land here. Feel yourself be here. Regardless of what has come in your day before now, regardless of anything you might expect to happen later in the day, as we begin our practice here, we commit to arriving into this moment. Physically here, as you settle, you might micro-adjust the alignment of the spine. You can soften the shoulders, soften the face, all of that. And just notice by coming into stillness, by setting our intention to be here, already we've shifted the momentum. Already we're beginning to arrive into the practice. Physically here, if you notice any tightness in the face or the jaw, you can soften that. Soften the space between your eyebrows and start to feel the subtle movements of your breath. Start to feel that gradual rise and fall. We'll linger here for just a few more deep breaths, arriving into our practice, settling into this moment, giving ourselves complete permission to be just here and now. Let's take a gentle inhale breath through our nose. Gentle exhale breath out our mouth. Drop down our chin, slowly open our eyes. From here we will remain in seated, but let's extend our legs. So just take them forwards, out and in front of you. Let them relax. You can shake them out, free things up a little bit here for yourself. And from here we'll be setting up into a butterfly pose. So feet will come together. Knees will move apart. In general, I'd say have your feet a little further away rather than trying to pull them in super tight. And this is optional, but I personally like to use blocks underneath my hands. If there's any sensitivity in the hips or the knees, you could also slide blocks under the legs themselves. So kind of listen to what your body wants in terms of feedback it gives you. Once you found your basic setup, take a gentle inhale here for some length. Use your exhale breath to ease and to move your way forwards. Settling into your edge here in this very first pose. As we start our practice, I'm sure some of you are Yin Yoga veterans, maybe a few of you are newer, have less experience with it. If you're on the newer side, especially to my way of teaching Yin Yoga, the way I like to explain it is to always remember that we want to feel the poses. We want to know that some work is being done with the body. But we never want to go so far into any shape that we get any sense that we might be harming the body, any sense at all that we're doing too much or striving or anything like that. And if you're not sure exactly where that line is, it's always better to work a little bit too gently than it would ever be to work too aggressively. So keep that in mind here. Within the framework of the pose, we settle into relative stillness. You relax the body and allow for the pose to do its work. And while the pose does its work, we get a rare opportunity to really connect with each moment. A rare opportunity to truly be in this experience. And so knowing if you're still settling in, the attention may wander, thoughts will come and go for sure. As that happens, keep bringing the attention back to the body here. Keep resting in the physical experience. Keep softening and letting go of anything at all it feels like you might be holding on to. And I mean that in both the body and the mind in this sense. For now here, we're going to take one more complete breath. Feel this pose as it is for you. Slowly, as you inhale, begin to raise up and come up and out of that fold. And once you're up, maybe roll the shoulders, the neck and the back. Release the legs, let them roll. Kind of free things up there too. From here, we're going to shift. We're going to make our way onto our belly. Something you might consider if you have a blanket available is to just unfold the blanket to give yourself a little bit of a cushion. This is going to go like under the hips here. If you don't have a blanket, the mat may be sufficient, but if you have one, I'd recommend using it. And then as you settle here, relax completely. Just keep in mind, I always lift my head a little bit because I'm wearing a microphone, but for you at home, just relax the head completely down. Rest here and feel the release in the body. Feel the lingering sensations. Knowing that the remaining effects, the afterglow of the pose, are just as important as the main pose itself. Take a few deep breaths here, allow that energy to settle. Take a gentle inhale breath through your nose. Open up your mouth as you exhale and let that go. From here, we're going to come into a pose called cat-tail pose, and I'm going to give a few options to fine-tune this, but to start, we can lift up onto our forearms, rising basically into a sphinx shape. From there, though, we're going to roll onto our left side. This is why I recommended using a blanket. And so as you roll onto your left side here, there's a few things to consider. If you rest up high like I am here, that's going to have the strongest effect on the side body and the shoulder. For some people, this is going to be too much though. So if that's you, you can drop down low like this. You can even kind of rest on the arm or use a prop here. Don't feel like you need to stay up high, especially if there is some discomfort that arises in the shoulder. You're going to want to listen to that. So once you've got the upper body dialed in, we dial in the lower body too. We're going to bend our bottom leg, our left leg, and hold onto that foot with the hand. You could even use a strap there if you need a little extra reach. And the right leg is relaxed. It can be straight, it can be more bent. Do what feels natural for yourself here. can turn the angle of the head and the chest. This almost has like a mini twisting quality to it. So you can really dial in your edge by experimenting with that, by playing with how that works for you. Once you're in the pose, again, we relax in a general sense. We let ourselves settle and be here. You might need to work a little bit with that left arm, but try to relax everything around it. A little bit of a challenge is not a problem, but if this gets at all intense, if this gets at all aggressive, remember you can lower down, even back out of the pose completely. What does it feel like to be here in this moment? What is the experience within your body and your mind? Feel that here for just one more complete breath on this side. You can slowly release that left foot. Roll your way more onto the center of the chest. As you come down, some options to think about. You could rest like we did just a minute ago. You could also take your arms back, rest on your cheeks. So do what feels natural here. Trust your intuition for what makes sense. We'll be here for like a minute or so, just a little pause. Let the body and the system integrate the work that you just did. Feel how those effects are making their way through the body. From here, of course, we'll do our second side as well. So we can begin to roll over onto our right side. So shift your weight over there. And as with the first side, again, we have a few different levels we can think about. So you can stay up high like I am here. You could drop down lower onto your hand. You can drop down onto your arm or whatever works. Again, listen to the feedback the body gives you. Let that be kind of your guide here. And once you've set up the upper body, we set up the lower body. So I bend my right leg, I hold on to that foot. You can use a strap for that if you'd like. Again, left leg can do whatever feels natural here, but have it relaxed. And then the upper body, maybe a little turn or a gaze. I almost think of this as kind of a subtle twist. And as you micro adjust, find your sweet spot here. Find your right edge. Once you're there, using only as much effort as is truly needed, letting go of any excess resistance, excess striving. And again, giving yourself complete permission to just be here. And take a final complete breath just like you are. Release the pose, that leg. Unroll the body, shift onto the center of the chest, and you could rest on your hands. You could also take your arms back by your side, again, if that's more comfortable, but one way or another here, settle, and find that neutral pose, which again is not just kind of a transition, it's part of the practice. We want to feel as we move from one pose to the next. Take a few deeper breaths here, feeling the sensations. Feeling the nervous system as it settles. We're dropping deeper into the sequence by now. Just a few more deep breaths. Again, letting the system truly integrate. Let's take a gentle inhale breath here through our nose. Gentle exhale breath out our mouth. Slowly you can press your way back, moving briefly through like a child's pose, releasing the back body, decompressing the spine a little bit. Slowly from here we can begin to sit our way upright, and we'll set up for where we're going next. I think for this next pose I'm going to turn around on my mat just so I'm facing the other side of the room so you can see me a little bit more clearly. You may want to use a blanket or a cushion for this. Again, I'm going to kind of set this up here just nice and wide like it is. We're setting up for deer pose, and we're going to start on our left side. Actually, as I demo this, I realized I want to face the other way, so I'm going to go back where I was. So for deer pose, you're going to sit down flat here on your butt, and you're going to roll over onto your outer left hip. Right leg is going to park somewhere behind it here. And this is where you're going to really want to listen to your body. The right leg can be close in, could be further out, depending on how this feels for you. What we never want to feel is any significant discomfort in our knees. If you feel that show up for you here, raise the hips, adjust as you need to until you no longer feel it. So we're going to be coming into a twisting version. So for just the first minute here, I'm going to be nice and tall. I'm going to walk my way over to the left, and I'm going to support myself. So you'll notice I'm kind of on my fingertips. You could use blocks if you want, a prop, or if you have a bolster, something like that. Maybe close the eyes or just softly gaze down towards the floor beneath you. Either way, again, you're truly settling into this experience, into the shape. Relaxing and letting go of everything extra on top of that. From here, we're going to come into more of a folding version. So you're going to slowly inhale to invite some length. Use your exhale breath. Release and walk your way down now. The trick for this is you don't want to feel a strong pull on your lower back or on your side body. You don't want to feel strong pressure in the belly like it's hard to breathe. If you feel anything like that, just back out a bit, adjust a bit. And again, it's totally okay, maybe even encouraged to rest on some props here, to give yourself that little bit of extra support. Trust your intuition here. We want the body to respond to the pose, but in a way that feels safe, that feels really patient and gradual even, we could say. And we let the physical sensations of the pose keep us anchored in the present moment. The attention drifts, no problem. Just come back to the body. Come back to that physical experience. Let's take one more complete breath right here. Press into the floor, slowly begin to rise up. And as you rise up, you can sweep both legs forwards, let them relax. We're going to pause here, just sitting nice and upright for a minute or so. Here's where I'm going to flip around though, so that I face the other side of the mat. You probably don't need to do that at home. Just take a few deep breaths to feel this. Again, feel the resonance within your body. Feel the afterglow of the work that you've just done. Again, never rushing the transitions, letting them be as much a part of the practice as anything else here. Let's set up for the second side of that. So from here, you can again slide the feet in a little bit and roll all the way onto your right side hip. So I'm kind of resting on the side of my leg. Left leg comes back somewhere behind it. Again, please experiment with this. Maybe you need to lift that hip higher, give yourself some space. If anything feels like crushed or a sharp sensation, again, that's going to be your signal for that. Once you've got your basics set up, we're going to now twist more towards the right. So begin to walk your way over here. Spine is nice and tall. As with the first side, we'll take the first minute here, just nice and upright. A little bit of energy behind the pose. Feeling that unraveling, feeling that wringing out of things. Even in the shorter pose, can you let yourself simply be here? Can you let go of anything else that may not be needed here? From here, you can take another gentle inhale breath for some length. With your exhale breath, begin to walk your way down, closer towards the earth. And just as I said on the first side here, really listen to the feedback your body gives you along the way. You don't want to feel strong pressure on the belly, the spine, side body, really any of that. If you do feel anything like that, consider lifting up or backing out. Consider leaning into props if you want some extra height or support for it. But if all seems reasonable, when all seems reasonable here, find that relative stillness. Relax the body. Let yourself drop into this. Let that connection with the physical keep you anchored. keep you connected. Take your final complete breath just like you are. Slowly press into the floor. You can begin to raise up. And again, from here, we're going to extend our legs nice and long. Let them relax. And one more time here, I'm going to flip myself back around the other way, kind of my preferred way. While you're here, you can let the body settle. Relax the shoulders. Take a few deep breaths. Feel this moment. Feel this transition here, truly. How is the body? How is the whole system here responding to the work that we're doing? Again, we can take a gentle inhale breath through our nose. Gentle exhale breath out our mouth. Where we go from here is we're basically going to build from the shape we're already in. Now, the only thing I will say is if just being here feels intense on your body, grab some extra blankets or cushions, lift your hips higher here because you want to be able to at least sit in the pose as a minimum. Now, I like to grab blocks, kind of like the first pose we did to support the hands. You could also slide blocks or another prop beneath the legs. The thing I want you to remember here is this could be enough. Just sitting nice and tall. There may be no need to go any further. If it makes sense for your body, you can lean forwards, maybe just the tiniest bit. And even for my body, I can already feel it just from that tiny shift. As we come in, you have permission to round the spine, to really relax. Don't feel like you need to stay ruler straight. But make sure the body feels generally comfortable here. Nothing too much. Close the eyes and let yourself be here. What do you feel in the body here as you settle? What remains as you truly relax, as you truly let go here? Feel that too. As we get deeper in, I'll be more quiet, give us more space. So just rest with that. Appreciate the pauses, appreciate the silence here. And take your final complete breath like you are. Slowly ease out if you came into a fold, and from that fold you can relax the legs, you can relax the shoulders, the neck, the back, all of that. And then from there, we can slowly start to shift and we'll find our way all the way onto our back. So shouldn't need any props specifically for this. You can just lie down flat on the floor. As you lie down flat on the floor here, you can feel this moment of pause. Feel this moment of space. Take a few deeper breaths. Again, allow for that energy to settle. Allow for that energy to recirculate here. Take a deep inhale breath through your nose. And take a big exhale breath out your mouth. We're going to stay here on our back. We're going to set up for final pair of twists. So you can walk both legs in, have your knees bent. You can come into a little sway, a little shift, just kind of free things up, even things up for yourself. From here, though, you can then cross your left leg on top of the right, stacking the knees. Take a gentle inhale breath there, and then slowly, as you exhale, roll the legs across to the right into that twist. And place your left arm somewhere beside you onto the floor. With that arm nice and relaxed here, fine-tune so that you feel just a nice kind of reasonable pull on the body, not too much, not too little. Gradually allow for gravity to draw you down towards the earth as you settle in here more and more. Again, appreciate the simplicity of just doing less. Take a final complete breath like you are. And then from there, slowly begin to wind into the middle. Release the legs. Take a little sway if you'd like, a little shift here, and just pause for a few breaths. Feel how the body integrates what you've just done. Feel this transitional moment of our sequence. Setting up your second side. When you're ready to, you can cross the right leg on top of the left to stack. From there, when you're ready, take a gentle inhale and slowly, as you exhale, roll the legs across towards the left. Place the right arm again somewhere on the floor beside you that's comfortable. You can dial this in and out as you need to. Trust your intuition here. Just make sure you feel nice and calm, nice and settled into it. In the shape, let there be nowhere that you're trying to get to, nothing specific that you're trying to make happen. Simply witnessing whatever naturally shows up for you here over the next short while. Take your final complete breath like you are. From here, you can slowly begin to wind and roll back into the middle. A little moment here if you'd like to just shift, to rebalance, kind of free things up, neutralize things here for yourself. And then from here, we'll be setting up for our final neutral shape. So you can extend the legs out onto the floor. And open the arms out a bit. If you want to use props, blankets, blocks, anything like that, I highly encourage it. Only real rule here is to ensure that you can be still, that you can really settle here for the next long while. And so as you set that up here for yourself, closing the eyes, taking one last scan through the body and just ensuring that there's no more remaining sense of effort, no more remaining sense of control. You can let all of that go. And take a gentle inhale breath through the nose. Open up the mouth as you exhale and let everything go here for these final few minutes. So you can take just a few more moments as you are on your back. Tune in and notice what has settled. Notice what has rebalanced through that time. And deepen the breath a little bit. Invite some small movements so that when you're ready to, you can roll your way over onto your side. From your side, gently press your way up into a comfortable seat. Close your eyes there. And just sit here for a final few moments. Feel all the various effects of practice. Feel the change you've made in both body and mind. And join the hands in front of the heart. So again, and as always, my deep thanks to each of you for sharing your practice. And may our practice bring benefit to all beings. We bow. So thank you again for joining me in practice. If you have any questions or thoughts, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to stay in touch, please consider joining my email list. There's a link down there in the description too.